Hi, everybody at rantfinance.com, and welcome to another edition of Dino's Tech Picks. Tonight is Tuesday. I'm sorry, it's Monday. I'm getting ahead of myself. May 14th, approximately 10:45 p.m. Looking at the minis again, and I'm also gonna flip around to the S&P and the spiders as well to kind of show something I'm looking at there. Um, but with the S&P minis here, last night we had the gap down. This morning we gapped down, or we continued down even farther. And a couple things that I noted on the blog today with these new lows, it seemed like um, for those that like to play the swings, that we got a little bit more defined channel here. You know, we were kind of going sideways with some overthrow, but I know it's kind of hard to see with all the lines here, but the highlighted channel were within the channel for the most part here. You know, we broke down a couple of times here, but we hit some decent horizontal support, and we bounced back up and in. And you know, there's a possibility we could ride the bottom of this channel down, or we could kind of bounce. It seems like we're kind of due for a bounce, though. I'm starting to hear a lot of people call for a bounce, and we all know what happens when everyone starts leaning one way. Not saying that's where everyone's going, but um, it's just something to keep an eye on. Another thing that I noticed today was a falling wedge here with a breakout and a bull flag consolidation here. This is on a 30-minute time frame. And then it kind of broke down again in the afternoon. It seems like that's the pattern. Gap down in the morning and have some relief for the bulls a little bit, and then sell off again. These wedges they're always interesting. I hardly ever put any faith into them because, at least to me, they tend to morph into either channels or bigger wedges or something. They're just kind of they're unpredictable to me. So this is the line that I drew earlier this morning. You know, with a touch here at the top, a touch here, and a couple touches towards the 80% mark, which is where you want to watch for a break. But you know, and it looked like we broke out, and we're kind of bull flagging here, and you could even argue it kind of came down and back tested. But you know, if I drag this line like this, then it's like, oh, well, now we're in a bigger wedge. So um, I always get kind of confused with these, and unless I'm really, really sure um, of the wedge, you know, I'll mark them and look for areas like this. This happened right after the market closed, and we were heading down here, and I thought, oh boy, I wonder when the minis open back up at 4:30, what's going to happen? And sure enough, it came down and tapped, and we kind of came back up, and you know, now we're inside this channel again. So this, you know, we got touches on the inside of this line, and we got touches on the outside of it. So you know, maybe that's the correct line, but you know, by tomorrow it may not be the right line, and we may have to redraw this top line uh, to be expanded a little bit. But uh, not much, not much bullish at all, other than you know, maybe we're due for a bounce here because we're at the bottom of the trend, or at the bottom of this channel. Um, you know, going back out to you know, 4-hour time frame, nothing's changed here. Um, you know, our big head and shoulders pattern is still kind of playing out. Here's a bigger view of that channel that we're kind of in. For those of you that went short at the top here, we had a few touches, and these guys, especially right here, because those were two back tests of that neckline. Um, I think that was the smart play. I wanted to show the SPX here. A couple things that I noticed. One was it looks like we're kind of in a down channel here, a pretty good down channel. We closed a little bit below, um, but this is on a daily view as well. But it's pretty well defined, and by this pattern here, bottom trend, up, down. Looks like we may get a bounce here. Another thing that I noticed, and I know some of the other very good traders on rantfinance.com are tracking the S&P, and they've noted this trend line here, which is basically a neckline of a head and shoulders pattern on the S&P. But I was wondering, I seen this today, and if we took this line out temporarily, could we possibly have an extended head here and a horizontal neckline? Now the other thing, as I started looking across, I was looking at my crosshairs here, and going overall to the left side, it's like, oh, looks like we got some good support here. So I started panning out, and we got some pretty decent support here, even on a weekly view. And I just wonder if, because of the channel, because of this horizontal support here, because it's OPEX, and a lot of those puts are deep in the money now, and we all know how the market makers are with positions that are very lucrative. They don't like paying those out, so I don't know. I could see us making a strong bounce here sometime this week to burn puts to hold the support for now. Because I think if this thing breaks, if we get another candle below this line and we confirm, there could be a lot of cascading selling going on, in my opinion. But the spiders are the same here. I was looking at those, and we got some good horizontal support here. This is on a weekly basis as well. And you start extending this guy out, and we got a couple pops through here, but one close above. This guy looked like it closed right at about that support line. So I don't know. It looks like we're at a kind of a key level here. So it'll be stuff that we're definitely watching. It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. I mean, we're, again, with being at the bottom of this channel, are we gapping down yet again tomorrow? Are futures going to keep the pattern and trend down? Well, if we are, there's not a lot of room in this channel. But I think if we do get a gap down and it's not big, say it's just, 3, 4, maybe even 5 handles, I think that might be bullish tomorrow. I really honestly think that might be bullish tomorrow, with the supports and just kind of where we're at in the chart. So, but we'll keep an eye on it, and as always, I'll look at it in the morning and post an update. So feel free to check back, and I'll post a chart up in the morning, and we'll see if we get some direction for tomorrow's trading. Thank you.